If I could tell you the future of your youth ministry and what your youth ministry would look like by the end of the year, would you want to know? That's what we're going to talk about today on Mentor Me Monday. Hey everybody, welcome back to Mentor Me Monday. I'm Paul Turner, and I am a little bit late getting started this year. I had some youth ministry stuff that I had to take care of, and so I hope you don't mind that I took care of those things, and now I am focused on you right here today. So I want to talk about the 5 ways you can tell the future of your youth ministry. Did you know that you could actually maybe forecast a little bit what your youth ministry may turn out to be like this year? So I want to give you 5 areas, and by the way, I'm already written, I'm on post 3. I'm kind of doing a deep dive here on these 5 elements here. So if you want to check it out more, just check out my blog over at thediscipleproject.net. And there'll be a link at the end, I believe, there, so you can get there via that or down in the notes below. And so the 5 areas that you can look at right now, if you want to kind of see where your ministry may be trending in the next few months or even by the end of the year, just take a look at these 5 areas. Number 1 is how quickly and how well you solve problems. If you can, this is a struggle that I deal with. This is if you're a leader of any kind, you're going to struggle with this issue: is how quickly and in what manner are you going to solve problems? Because if you're the different personalities of people who just say, "Look, I don't want to deal with that," and they'll hide in their office and hope that it all goes away, or you may be on the other end of the spectrum that says, "I'm going to go in there and just burn everything down," and it's just going to be scorched earth mentality of I'm just going to destroy everything in my path. And those 2 elements there, by the way, are not the best way to do it. But if you check out what I've been writing about, you may find a better way to do that. But if you just kind of do a little, find a little thing there in your heart and says, hey, how am I approaching problems different this year than I did last year? And that will forecast a little bit about how maybe your youth ministry may be turning out, because you're going to eventually have to deal with disciplining a student, or adult volunteer, or working through an issue with your pastor, or whatever that may be. But how you solve problems and how quickly you solve them will determine a little bit of your future there. Number 2 is your attitude towards God and others. Everything, back at the camp that I used to work at in Florida called Life Youth Camp, there used to be a thing, and maybe you've done this before, somebody would yell out attitude check and somebody would yell praise the Lord, and so everybody would kind of be checking on that attitude. You know what, it's very easy, I know it's only like the 2nd or 3rd week of January here, but it's very quickly, if things don't start going our way soon or whatever, that our attitude can tend to take maybe a little dive and say, oh man, my plans are not going through the way I want them to, and suddenly our attitude towards God and His church get completely out of whack, and we start kind of messing that deal up. So watching our attitude can be a great way to forecast the way we see maybe how our ministry is going to go. And so all important of how we should take care of our attitude, that if we have things like bitterness or unforgiveness or other things, we've got to be able to toss those things aside as quickly as possible and move on with the vision that God's given us for the ministry that we're in charge of. The 3rd area is that we got to look at a balance of life. And that's the post I did today, is balance of life in ministry. And I talk about things about balancing your home, balancing your ministry, and balancing your own personal life. This thing that goes on in here, that we're not cogs in a wheel, cogs in a machine, although sometimes that's the way we feel, but we are people loved by God, and sometimes we got to work those things out. God cares about what's going on in here as well, and the balance of our own souls versus the balance of what's going on in our ministry. So take a look at your balance. How are you balancing things with life and work and family and things like that we all deal with, and yet we have to get a clear perspective on if we're going to find a way to succeed, and not just succeed but thrive in our own personal lives and enjoy our journey, this one journey that we get here on the earth. We're going to have to enjoy that, and that's going to come from a sense of balance. So how are you doing in that? The 4th element is this, and that is our emphasis on community building within the ministry. And so if you want to forecast the ability to how well your youth ministry is going to do by the end of the year, look at the ways you're building community right there in your church. And, are you building community with other adults? Are you building community within your youth group? Are you doing small groups? Or are you getting kids away on a retreat? How are you building this deep sense of we're in this together kind of mentality, because we're all believers, we're all walking together, we're all trying to figure it out. So how are you doing that? What's on your calendar in the sense of building community? The fifth thing is this, is if you show me your heart, for evangelism and discipleship, that will also be a very clear indicator of how the future of your youth ministry goes. If you don't have a lot of outreach on your schedule or a lot of discipleship opportunities or things like that, and we're just sort of, kind of doing the grind and whatever, we're not having a real clear focus on that, then that will also be a clear indicator of the future of our youth ministry, because we're not reaching out and we're not discipling the kids we have, and we're just running programs and program after program without purpose. Then that's going to be a clear indicator of the kind of youth ministry we're going to have, and we're going to start next year, 2016, the same way we're starting it this year, kind of in a hole. And so if you are interested in any further deep dive into these thoughts here, I have put it on, like I said, I'm on part 3 right now on my blog there on the discipleproject.net. Check that out. But I also like to hear your comments down here. Which of those 5 areas are you struggling with right now? That you say, like, I don't have a clear focus. I can't kind of see the way through this in those areas. Maybe it's solving problems. Maybe it's, building community. Maybe it's evangelism, discipleship. Whatever those things are, a balance of life, or, those things. You may be struggling with those things, but I want to hear about them. Tell me in the comments down below which of these you may be struggling with, or things that you may be dealing with right now, and I'd love to help you through it. In fact, if you do this, if you'll simply email me, and I'm going to do this for anybody that wants to do it, if you show me your calendar, I bet you I can take and maybe forecast a little bit of maybe what your year may look like. And maybe we can kind of walk through that together. But feel free to send me your calendar. I'd love to see it and check it out with you and kind of give you maybe some ideas or tips if you're struggling with it. Is there enough community? Is there enough this? And we kind of, sprinkle it through the calendar and maybe give you a balance in those things. And I'd love to talk with you about it. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for Meant to Be Monday. I'm Paul Turner. I'd love to hear from you. If you are liking this video and watching, first of all, thank you. If you're a regular, my appreciation as always. I'd love to hear from you. If you're brand spanking new, I'd love to send these videos to you in your inbox. So if you like these videos in your inbox, you like these videos, first of all, hit the likes button. That lets me know you like the video and you want me to make more of them. But also be sure to subscribe right here. Hit the subscribe button, and these videos will go into your inbox on a weekly basis. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for Meant to Be Monday. I hope to hear from you. I hope your year start off to a great start, and I will see you guys tomorrow on the Tuesday Panic. Have a great day.